you see a high-speed train fly into a curve. And here's the wild part. Inside, the cup on your table barely moves. No big shake, no hard shove to one side. But under the floor, huge forces are trying to push that machine offline every second. Here's something that will blow your mind. A high-speed train can be traveling at over 300 kilometers per hour. That's faster than most small aircraft take off. And a passenger's coffee will barely ripple. How is that even possible? So how does something this long, heavy, and fast stay smooth, stable, and safely on the rails? The answer is hidden logic. Small turning wheel units, layered suspension, and on some trains, a body that starts leaning before the curve begins. To see how that works, we need to look under the train first.
The thing is, a smooth ride can fool you. When you sit by the window, it feels easy, quiet, almost flat. So your brain says the train must just be gliding along. But that calm feeling is the result of a lot of hard work happening where you cannot see it. A fast train has to fight 3 problems at once. First, the track is never perfectly flat. Even a well-built rail line has tiny dips, joints, and shape changes. Second, curves push the train sideways. The faster it goes, the harder that push gets. And third, the air itself starts to push back harder and harder as speed climbs. Now, if a train were one long, rigid box with wheels fixed straight under it, curves would be a mess. The body would want to keep going one way while the track bends another way. That would make more rubbing, more wear, and a much rougher ride. So engineers solved this by breaking the rolling part of the train into smaller units. Those units are called bogies. A bogie is the wheel frame under the train. In simple terms, it is the running gear. It holds the wheel sets, brakes, dampers, and the link to the body above. Most high-speed passenger bogies have 2 axles, so that means 4 wheels working as one unit. Here is the trick. The car body and the bogie do not have to point in exactly the same direction. The bogie can turn a little to follow the track. Think of the front wheels on a shopping cart. The basket may still be moving forward, but the little caster wheels swivel so they line up with the path. A train bogie does a more controlled version of that same job. That means a long train does not fight the curve all at once. Instead, each bogie makes a small turn, then the next one, then the next one. The whole train bends through the route in tiny steps. This lowers stress and helps keep the wheels guided by the rails. Did you know that the wheels on a high-speed train are not bolted rigidly to the car above them? They are connected through a system so clever that the body can actually move in a completely different direction to the wheels underneath it. And that is the only reason you stay comfortable. But there is a problem. At high speed, tiny motions do not stay tiny for long. A small shape can grow into a strong force. A small sideways push can become a real comfort and safety issue. So a turning bogie is only the first part of the answer. That brings us to the core mechanism, because guiding the train through the curve is one thing. Keeping the cabin calm while it happens is something else. So let's strip away the casing and look inside the bogie. This is where the hidden logic starts to show. The bogie is not just a metal frame with wheels stuck on it. It is a packed mechanical system. You have the frame itself, the wheel sets, brake parts, dampers, suspension pieces, and the connection that supports the body above. A lot of the real work happens right here. Now, to understand why the cabin feels so calm, we need to look at the suspension in 2 layers. This part is the brain of the ride. The first layer is called the primary suspension. That sits between the wheels and the bogie frame. Its job is to catch the rough stuff first. So when the wheels hit tiny changes in the track, this layer takes the first hit. Then there is the second layer, called the secondary suspension. That sits between the bogie and the train body where you sit. This is the softer middle. On many high-speed trains, it uses air springs and dampers. An air spring is just what it sounds like. It is a flexible part filled with compressed air, and that air works like a cushion. Think of it like carrying a box over a bumpy path. If your arms are locked stiff, every bump goes straight to the box. But if your arms can bend and soften the motion, the box stays steadier. That is what this 2-layer suspension does for the train body. The clever part is that the system filters motion in steps. The primary suspension catches the sharp hit first. Then the secondary suspension smooths what is left before it reaches you. From the cabin, that makes a huge difference. In the provided research,
This suspension network can reduce body acceleration by 52.54%. So the track below may still be rough, but the body above feels much calmer. If you want to see more hidden engineering like this broken down simply, hit subscribe right now. We take apart the machines around you one mechanism at a time. Now, some trains stop there. Others add one more layer, and this is where it gets clever. On curvy routes, some high-speed trains actively tilt. That means the body leans inward on purpose as it enters a turn. The simplest way to picture it is a person carrying a tray of soup around a corner. If they stay upright, the soup sloshes to the side. If they lean into the turn, the soup stays calmer. A tilting train does the same thing for you. And here comes the big reveal. On some systems, the train does not wait to feel the curve. It prepares early. Trackside markers called balises, which are small signal devices placed along the route, send location information. Gyroscopes, which sense turning and orientation, help the train know how it is moving. Then computers command hydraulic or electric actuators to start the lean before the curve begins. That means the train can tilt ahead of the force instead of only reacting to it. Some active tilting systems can lean about 6 to 9 degrees. Here, we are focusing on systems that tilt up to 8 degrees. Different countries solve this problem in different ways. Japan's shinkansen, which means new trunk line, is famous for smooth, high-speed travel on dedicated routes. It relies heavily on advanced suspension and very carefully built lines. France's train à grande vitesse, or TGV, takes a different path. It is generally non-tilting, so it depends on strong bogie design and straighter dedicated routes. Then Germany's Intercity Express Tilt, or ICET, uses hydraulic active tilting to handle older, curvier lines. So the same physics problem gets 3 different answers: smooth the track, strengthen the running gear, or teach the train to lean. And there is one more fight happening at the same time: air. Once speeds climb to roughly 300 to 350 kilometers per hour, aerodynamic drag becomes the main battle. So the nose shape, roof flow, and smoother airflow around the train start to matter a lot more. If you like seeing the hidden logic inside machines like this, hit subscribe, because we keep pulling the casing off things you use all the time. The smooth ride does not mean the forces are small. It means the train is beating them every second. But there is a problem, because movies teach people the wrong kind of danger. Movies love to show trains as one tiny mistake away from instant chaos. A spark flies, a coin hits the rail, something small lands on the track, and suddenly the whole train is meant to explode into disaster. Real high-speed trains are not built like that. They are built around margin, guidance, damping, and control. Here is a fact most people get completely wrong. A high-speed train traveling at full speed has more in common with a guided missile than a bus. It is not staying on the track by luck. It is being held there by dozens of systems all working at the same time, and most passengers have no idea. Take the old coin myth. People still say a coin on the rail can derail a train. It cannot. The wheel is guided by the rail, and the coin is simply crushed flat. The train does not climb up on it. It keeps going. Then there is the spark myth. In films, sparks mean something has gone badly wrong. But in real rail systems, small sparks can happen during braking or from tight contact in normal operation. A spark by itself does not mean the train is failing. It means energy is being handled somewhere in the system. And then there is the big one. The idea that one small object can easily throw a high-speed train off the track. That sounds dramatic, but it ignores how many systems are working together. The bogies guide the wheels. The suspension keeps loads steady. The structure stays stiff where it must. The safety systems watch speed and route. The train is not balanced on luck. It is held in line by layers of design in sync. So when people ask how a high-speed train stays stable, the real answer is not one magic part. It is teamwork. Bogies guide, suspension filters. On some routes, tilt prepares for the curve early, and the shape of the train helps it move through air with less fight. That is why the ride feels normal. Not because nothing is happening, but because so much is happening underneath you. By the time you notice nothing at all, the engineering has already done the hard part. The clever part is that some trains do not just react to the track, they get ready first. If you want to see more of how the world works, hit subscribe and share this with someone who loves trains, machines, or smart design.